So here we have some fresh herbs, fresh from our herb garden. I have some fresh dill, some sage, and some thyme. These guys really work well together, so we'll really have some use for these herbs. They can be used at any time. They just have an earthy, rich palate. For the thyme, they grow in little flowerets on their stem. So this is a little more time consuming, but the flavor is beneficial. So you'll they come on stems like this. You can just run your finger, grabbing at the top, pinching, and just run your finger down the stem. So it's completely empty. All those little fronds come right off. You don't want to use a knife to chop through this. These stems are really woody and deciduous, so it'll be hard to chew on. So it takes a little bit of time, but it's well worth it. Fresh thyme has almost a citrus element to it, so it pairs really well with some citrus fruits like oranges or limes. So it's really, really good for those instances. Salad dressings, to garnish. Maybe you can coat with some right on top of your salad dressing. You can just add it in at the top instead of mixing it in, so you can crush it and get some of those oils out of the fresh thyme. So this you have here, thyme. It doesn't need to be chopped any more than this. It can just be served as is. With the sage, since they have much wider, brighter leaves, we're going to do what's called a chiffonade. A chiffonade is a term which means to cut into ribbons. This is a technique that is used in most kitchens. It can be used for a lot of leafy greens or leafy vegetables, such as basil or sage. So you just want to lay them out on top of each other. So we can take the sage and you just lay the leaves on top of each other. It's about 6 or 7 leaves here. And you just want to roll from the stem side up until you get like a nice little bundle. And then from there, I'm just going to make small cuts, rings out of the sage. So you have little strips like this. Again, this is called a chiffonade. And from the chiffonade, you can cut it into smaller pieces. And there's your sage. And the last herb we have is fresh dill. Dill has a very bright, very green balance to it. It's often used in cooking lighter vegetables or lighter fare, but because of its pungency, it's very light in flavor, but it has a very pronounced. If you think of dill pickles, that sour sweet that actually comes from the vinegar, but the flavor of dill is very pronounced. So we're just going to run our knife through the dill and cut it really small. The stems of the dill are very soft and they add more of a dill flavor as well, so you can incorporate those with the herb. And that's how you would cut your herbs. So again, we have some herb, we have our chiffonade and our dice of our sage, and we have our fresh picked thyme.